Yeah, hello and welcome to this video. This is a video that probably some of you have expected to be out soon. It's the announcement that my Benko based repertoire against 1d4 is completed, released, and yeah, you can buy it right now if you like, and see what I've compiled for black to play against 1d4. So I'm going to show you a little bit what it's all about. It's released on Chessable. This is an opening, or it's a site for learning chess basically. It's currently focused on learning opening variations. It's supposed to be more versatile in the future, but currently you can buy or enter yourself chess repertoires for the opening and learn it. So how does it all work? I'm going to log into the site. In order to buy my repertoire, you need to sign up, which is free, and then you can buy the repertoire. So I'm going to log in to show you how it actually does look like. Once you're in the site, so you would have an overview of books, as it is called, which means these are various repertoires that you could buy and then learn. So there's a couple of things already released here. We have John Bartholomew, for example, did a repertoire on the Scandinavian that you could buy. We've got some things here recently released by Tryphon Gabriel, King's Crusher, some opening traps and an E4 repertoire. And what is also out now is the Benko based repertoire that I have produced. So how does that actually look like? So if you get into this repertoire, once you have bought it, it gives you this starting view. There's some explanation about it. Gives you some idea how much content it has. It's just like more than 300 variations, which is pretty difficult now to explain how much it is. But it is, I can assure you, it is quite a lot. It's a comprehensive repertoire. So what are you actually going to do with it once you're here? Yeah, you learn it. This is the thing. You have a learn button here, and this is the key feature of this site. First of all, I'm going to show you what the structure of the whole thing is. So it is an 8-part release. It has an intro, and then we look at the various stages that we see from move 1. So I'm looking at everything that white may play after 1d4, with black going for the Benko. That means we have deviations on move 2, like d4, knight f6, bishop f4, the London system, or the Trompovsky, or the Verisov, or whatever they might try. We also have d4, knight f3, c5 covered with all possible offbeatish deviations, or d4, knight f6, c4, c5, inviting the Benko after d5, b5, and white just does not play d5 and play knight f3. Kind of a spoiler move, not allowing us the gambit play, but also that is covered. So if you look through this repertoire and learn it, you have a full complete answer, as it is also in the title, to 1d4. So ideally speaking, this is the only thing that you need in order to play against 1d4 in an aggressive and enterprising manner. We have other declines of the gambit and so on. It's all there. We also have I have annotated 7, I think it was at the end. It was kind of going up and down. Illustrative games there that show. This is at times it's a very deeply analyzed games showing ideas and concepts that happen in those games. I mean, I do a lot of this also in the actual repertoire parts, like 2 to 7, but those games I think give additional value to understand what's going on in the middle games. So how does that learning actually work? So what you can do is you can basically, once you're in this repertoire, you can also always click learn next, and it will show you new variations out of this and teach you all the moves, and it keeps track if you have basically learned it or not. So how does that work? I'm going to just click learn next and see what happens. Okay, start learning. Let's do it. So this is how it starts. It gives you here white's move d4, and then you've got the explanatory text. This is, by the way, it's from the intro. There's a brief thing called Intro to the Benko Gambit, which gives a brief overview of all the options that are going to be presented in the later single chapters. So there's also quick mode, which does the whole thing a little bit quicker. I'm going to not activate it now. It's actually, I think, the mode that most people would use at the end, but it probably is maybe a little bit hectic for the video if you see it at first. So what are you doing now? It says d4, you go knight f6. Okay, so you click next. You can also press a button, and now you're basically sitting here and have to play a move. So you should remember, okay, it was knight f6. That's not all that difficult. And, you know, as you see, you got 10 points for that. So you always gain and gather points for doing the right moves. And if you don't enter the correct moves, then it actually takes note of that, and it's going to ask you a little bit later if you now are doing it right. So it's really a learning tool to those moves. It's not just like passively watching someone telling you what to do. It's just you have to play the moves actually. So here there's the text. Well, note that this is the short text from the intro. In the actual, the meaty version says much more prose. So again, what now? You saw it was c5. So I'm going to play c5. I'm getting a couple of points. And now we repeat it quickly. Okay, knight f6, bishop g5. It was c5, okay? So I get some points again. Okay, c5 is the key move. We understood by now. So, and this is how it works. Now you say, just learn next, and we get to the next point. This is bishop f4 now, is the next thing. No, this is the intro. I'm going to switch to something a little more meaty next. Yeah, you always have the text explanations on the right-hand side, what it's all about. And okay, so what was that? It was again c5, right? That's easy. I tried to make it, or compile the ideas in a way that it is somewhat Benko type. Yeah? So let's say we're okay for that now. Yeah, here's also an overview of all the single lines in the intro. Yeah, as I said, the intro is just a brief overview of everything. If we go back, and you see now that from the intro we've already see that progress bar. Yeah, we already done like, maybe this is like 20% of the stuff, and this makes you keep track what you actually have done. This is also an extremely nice feature. If you take a book and say, okay, I'm learning the lines from that book, do you actually know if you have looked at everything? I don't think you do. And here it absolutely makes sure to give you a clear feedback if you have looked at it or not. Now I know that I haven't looked at, I don't know, chapter 7. So let's actually go into one of the bigger portions of this. So let's go into the main line, let's say, yeah? and see how that works. So we could maybe go here, yeah? Like learn moves. Let's do it. Okay. So we jump right into this position. We should castle here. Yeah, I know that I skipped some early stages, but I just wanted to show how that works. So okay, we have to castle. Aha, so this is the G3 system. Yeah, there's a text. Black having delayed the capture on A6, it's a bit less dangerous as the text. So I think that's useful information. And we know we should go D6. So okay, let's D6. We get points for that. Okay, here we go knight BD7. We don't take A6. So note that if I play this now, it says wrong. The right move is knight BD7. It shows it again. So next time I should remember that I shouldn't take on A6. Yeah, rook B1, knight B6. Okay, so we go here. And now, yeah, bishop F5. The big difference, because the bishop is attacking the rook. So we see that in this particular variation, it was very useful not to have taken on A6. And now the white rook goes back, and we even get in knight E4 with a very active position. We can look at this quick mode. Yeah, let's enable this and say next. What move should I play? It was knight E4. Yeah, you know, this is a little bit quicker. I don't have to click next all the time. It's a little bit quicker. So go back here, and here it's F5, yeah, where black makes sure that this knight is covered. So F5. The quick mode has less repetitions, but I think it's probably what most people will use. So I think castles should be correct. And here it was d6. Now we get the whole thing again. Yeah, knight bd7 was the trick. Yeah, don't take on a6, but delay the capture. And here we have knight b6 for bishop f5. That was the idea. And I think I'm going to not make a mistake again. Don't think that I know all of my repertoire by heart. It's not that I know everything. I've looked at everything, but it doesn't mean that it was going back in f5. I know that looks repetitive. I can assure you one thing: it works. You actually learn this stuff if you have to put it on the board like 2 times or 3 times. It really helps. I've checked this with other repertoires that I don't know at all, like the Scandinavian, and I actually was able to reproduce the moves very, very reliably in that way. It really is a more active way of learning than just looking at something. I mean, the thing is, if you're on video, yeah, if you just watch a video where someone points out moves, I mean, I've done those videos myself. I think they can be effective if you are really, really focused while watching. But it's a different story if you actually have to put the moves on the board. So, and the good thing is, it's very easy. You just say learn next. Oops, and this is the next thing. So what is that? Okay, white goes knight h4, and we go back to f7. Why is that? Yeah, we prevent b3. Okay, there's an explanatory text there. And yeah, knight h4 it made sure that bishop f5 is not happening. So we want to go back here and make sure that white doesn't go b3. And now we actually take. Okay, so let's take the pawn, b3. Oh, black is going back. That's interesting. Okay, so we go back. Bishop b2, knight f6. Aha, so black is actually putting more pressure on d5. So e4, and now bishop a6. Aha, it says an important resource. Yeah, why is that important? White cannot castle anymore. So black actually maneuvered with his pieces, covering or provoking e4, and bishop a6 is preventing castling. So this is important to remember. Now let's see if I can actually reproduce that. Yeah, so we had knight fd7 preventing the b3 move. Yeah, castles. Okay, now we take, sorry, queen c2, now we take. White plays b3, trying to get that going. We go back. We attack d5 and ultimately play bishop a6. Okay, so let's make sure that we get it right. This one, we take it. And we put more pressure on d5. So that ultimately bishop a6 is coming. Yeah, this really helps. I mean, it really helps. So one more. Let's go for one more. Aha. So that was e6, right? And d5. Well, that looks like a crazy variation. Okay, so we go e5. Okay, and now d4 at the end. And it says black is fine. This line is just one way to play after knight h4. There are plenty of alternatives along the way. Yeah, I mean, black is super active in this position. Just if you look at this, the white knight doesn't have a good square. We attack a2 with the rook, and everything is super active on the black side. This is the general idea of this repertoire. Black always wants to play in a most active fashion possible. So I just have to do this again to get a couple of more points. So what was that? That was e6, right? And then d5. It's really a funky idea. And black has good compensation after d4. I can easily believe that. So e6 and d5. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is basically how it works. The site has a couple of more features, of course. For example, here you see review. What does that mean? You can click on that. Okay. And it gives you, it takes you back to a certain line, and it has a point. It has a point. last time, to show you what happens if I do a wrong move, yeah, I played bishop a6, and now I remembered that this move is correct. So it actually just took me back to something that I did not do right at the first time. You see a progress of the whole thing. I've now learned 5 out of 293 variations. It is quite a bit of material to check out. So it's a really comprehensive answer to 1d4. You see here now I have a small progress here with this. There's plenty more to look at. There are also different ways of looking at the whole thing. There's also a repertoire tree, for example, available, which means that it has all the lines in one tree view. So you can basically click through it like that. If you want to look up a certain thing, you can get there. For example, yeah, like if you want to check how this exactly works, you can click through this and see all the different variations. It's also a very nice tool to work with. Note that you also have the option to start or take this as a starting point for your own things. Yeah, you can also add things if you like. So I think it's a pretty neat way of learning the opening. If you have never checked out this way of learning a line on Chessable, maybe this repertoire is a good way to start. I'm really happy with the lines in the repertoire, and I'm willing to play them in serious chess. Yesterday I played a league game against a good opponent, rated roughly 2,400, and I tried to play it with black, but he played a very non-critical variation. I can actually show you what he played so that you see that it's in my repertoire. I recommend c5, and he played the move e3, which is not very dangerous, g6, and yeah, he played actually d5 yesterday, so it's not in my repertoire. But after d5, yeah, we reached something that it was like d5, bishop g7. Currently, this not part of the repertoire. But this position, I think, should be close, probably after castles or something. Let's see, we had this kind of thing, yeah, and this is in the repertoire. So it's just a small transposition. You cannot get all the move orders in; it's just not possible. So if you are interested in a complete repertoire versus 1d4, which is pretty aggressive, yeah, with the Benko, yeah, you will be a pawn down most of the time, but you will also have active positions most of the time. Yeah, check out the video here on Chessable. I think it's a really cool way of learning. By the way, from a technical point of view, I should show that actually. If you go back to the starting point, it is currently selling at $9.99, and this is a current price. It's a sale that is active until early November. I think November 1st. I'm not mistaken. It will be $15 after that. So if you are absolutely sure you want to get it, it's a good idea to do that pretty quickly, so you don't actually pay the higher price at the end. It is easy to pay those kind of repertoires on Chessable. You've got plenty of options, from credit card to other options, PayPal, whatever. It's all in there as far as I saw. So it's easy to do. Also, I'd like to add a little something, that Chessable has a very good way of treating the authors. So if you buy this, it actually benefits me. I mean, there are a couple of things released on websites where the author is basically exploited, and this is not the case with this. So I would be very happy if people are interested in the repertoire. Give me feedback also. No, this is an important thing. This is not something that is set in stone. If somebody would point out mistakes or improvements, I will definitely get them integrated into the repertoire. It's a living thing in a way, which means that I'm not going to change 90% of it during a month. But if there are really mistakes or things that should be improved, I will definitely enter them. So it's a very nice thing, and a big advantage over a book which is basically set in stone. Okay, I hope you liked this informational video and are interested in the repertoire. Thanks for watching.